before I can tweet.
Well,
I'm just saying.
The link changes.
Does it now again?
Yeah.
Or is that just no quarters?
No, the BMFcast one is the same all the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Something about the no quarters page is like old.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Hi, Internet.
Hey,
Internet.
Internet.
Hey, intranet.
You
Hashtag
sexy watchers.
Weird beef.
That's no quarters.
Too bad. I had 10 extra characters, so I threw it in at the end of the tweet.
Seriously. Where
Did you?
the fuck are just new tweets now?
You can't see new tweets anymore.
What?
Sorry. You have to look through 60 tweets from while you were gone.
You're still doing weird beef. Come on. Don't.
Chuck and I have weird beef.
Quit trying to make weird beef happen.
No, it's happened. It has already happened.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
That was Monday.
No. Look at all the... Click on the weird beef hashtag.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
We're the Justin Timberlakes of weird beef.
I just want someone to ask us what the hell it means.
I'm bringing weird beef back. Yeah.
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 You normal beefs don't
Take it
know
to the
where
beef.
it's at. Yeah.
Take it to the beef.
Can we put ads on the live stream?
Can actually.
Can we?
You
Yeah.
got me cooking, baby.
Let's monetize
It's so
those
sweet.
70 views.
Nah.
Yes.
Would it even
Hot shot.
show them on a live stream?
That's what I just asked him, and he said yes.
Like,
It does like Twitch does, where they start the live stream and then it rolls a commercial.
Oh, does it? No, that's
no,
gross.
let's not do that.
Like I was thinking, like banner to cover up our faces. Your face, and
Bruce
mine.
Banner.
Right, just mostly my face. Yes, Bruce Banner.
That was a pretty good, goofy picture of Fred Williamson you found there.
Uh-huh. It's actually from the movie Hammer.
I
I've
recognize that. I recognize the sideburn.
Because dem sideburns.
hey, I've seen that movie.
Yeah. Your chair quacks.
It's this lever. It's this lever.
Leela.
Leave her alone.
It's delicious. It's refreshing. It's effervescent.
Luckily, I couldn't hear that, so I don't have
Oh.
to snap your neck.
My neck?
You're back.
Gotta smack my...
No. 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 No.
Anytime I can inject that into a conversation.
Yeah, you got to take that opportunity. You can't pass that up.
No.
Are there notes?
No,
Yeah, I've already shared them.
Oh.
no quarters.
I shared them minutes ago.
Okay.
Before we were
Wow.
even live.
Wow.
They were shared.
Sorry to put you out.
Well, yeah, it's not like I can travel back in time and share them any earlier.
Thanks, Ozymandias, note taker.
Yeah.
I shared them
Yeah.
minutes ago.
I already did that half an hour ago. Not monologuing here. You all right?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You heard me.
I know. I'm just wondering what it meant. What does it all mean?
5 people watching now.
What? Where are they? Speak up. Say you're here. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Speak to us.
Hi, Fury. Hey, there's a troll man from 2010.
What?
Don't watch that.
It's Japanese.
Oh.
7.
This monkey's gone to heaven. This monkey's gone to heaven. Oh, someone's here. Hey!
Ciao.
Chow is dog.
Dog.
Yes. CIAO.
No, that is bye.
I-G-O-B-I-G. Is there a hello, Chow?
Yes,
I
it
don't
means
know.
the same.
Can you say hello and ciao in Italian?
Yeah.
Like,
It's the same as aloha.
oh.
Oh, It's an exclamation, informal, used as a greeting at meeting or parting. So yes, ciao works.
Ciao, bella. Yes. Well, I will talk about Deadpool. I don't think anyone else saw it. I mean, other people saw it, but not in this
I
room.
almost got to see it this weekend.
Really?
That was the one Jen picked. And then we didn't.
And you decided not to go at all?
Well, no, we cooked dinner at home, and for some reason the oven was being stupid and took like 45 minutes to get up to temperature.
Oh.
So that kind of shot down any chance of going anywhere. Then she's like, "Oh, Walking Dead's on tonight." I was like, "Son of a bitch, I'm not seeing Deadpool."
Oh, was that Sunday?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been able to see it anyway. Every theater was wrecked.
Really?
Yeah.
Just sharing the
Like,
love of Deadpool.
I'll tell you
on
this.
Sunday night.
Sunday night, Valentine's Day night,
No.
and Regency was packed. So I assume if people actually went to Regency, then every other theater must have been packed.
Yeah.
Say that like Regency's not always
Yeah.
packed now.
The Regency's got the best seats. They're all reserved and they're all freaking recliners.
It does, but
Regency has a bar.
Yeah.
aside
No,
from
no.
Star Wars, I haven't really seen
The
it
bar is
packed, packed.
it's just a thing you're chasing. It doesn't actually mean anything. It's called MacGuffins. Yeah. That could be Chekhov's drink. That'd be the drink that shows up in the beginning of the movie. Will last you through to the end of the movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How'd you moisturize your lips? I missed that.
Do what?
Hey,
What'd you miss?
that was like
Moisturize
one
your
word.
You moisturized your lips.
I did, yeah.
I missed
Jam
that.
some Vaseline.
And I'll alert you next time.
I would appreciate if you do.
Okay. Yeah, I reached over and I got my chapstick and I lubed them up. Lubed them right the fuck up.
I thought this was our thing, Chuck.
What?
I don't know.
You make eye contact
Yeah.
when you're lubing your lips up? Or?
Never been a thing.
I thought
Would never happened.
Well, I always make eye contact with you.
Well, I don't know what you're looking at because it ain't me. I don't like to make eye contact when I lube
Fine.
up.
Yeah, he
I see where we are now,
he
Chuck.
can't finish lubing up unless
No.
you're doing it.
I see where we are.
Unless he can
I-
look in your eyes. It's
Yeah.
not happening.
Well, yeah.
In your eyes.
Yeah, just hold the chapstick over your head. Yes.
Yes. All right, let's entertain these two people in the chat with a podcast.
What was that?
Your eyes. That's the Lloyd Dobler effect.
You son of a bitch. You horrible, horrible person.
That's that is a quality joke.
Thanks.
That's,
Go to hell.
Thank you.
Go straight to hell.
All right.
Do not collect.
I will.
Evan-
I will do that.
Evan, I have not seen the final Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice trailer because
I did.
I saw the other ones.
I saw it.
So I didn't
there
need
are
to see another
600,000 trailers.
I did watch it because at this point
one. You don't really
I
care.
don't care. So I figure it might sell me, but it's still there's one problem with all of that entire trailer. I mean, I like Punchy and Wonder Woman and all that, but then it goes directed by Zack Snyder. I'm like, oh well,
Yeah.
take your lifetime pass and set it on fire.
Yeah.
Why don't you?
Dawn of the Dead was a long time ago.
Sure
wasn't it?
was. Remember we liked 300 and even Watchmen was pretty good. But,
Yeah.
well.
Eh. Eh.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll still go see. I'm still going to go see it because I do. That's what I do.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
You go see superhero movies.
I do. I have seen
That's
pretty much
there are
all
to
of them.
see.
Did you see Elektra in the theater?
Not in the theater, but I have seen it.
Yeah.
There are some I wait for home, like Van Forstick and things like that.
Van Forstick.
I don't know.
All right.
I mean, my biggest problem with like looking at the Batman v Superman is like I'm wondering if you're actually going to be able to see anything. Like if that movie's coming out in
It's pretty
3D,
dark.
yeah, if that movie comes out in 3D, it's just going to be like just darkness. Yeah, it'll be a dark night with no K.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, podcast time.
Uh-huh.
I thought we were bantering and stuff.
We did.
Okay.
We bantered. You know,
There was banter.
son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just realizing I have not updated the IMDb list
Yeah.
of BMFcast films.
How far back are we?
It's gonna
Sometime in 1990.
No, I don't
No,
think any
before
of those
that?
got in there.
I think it's. Oh shit.
But you've been keeping up Letterboxd though, right?
Yeah, Letterboxd. Is
Okay,
up
so-
there. Well, because whenever it eventually removed the links that I had put
Right.
meticulously into that list, and
Yeah.
then it was like links, nah.
Yeah.
So then it was just like we've watched these movies, hooray for us.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, now. All right, let's podcast it up.
Okay.
I guess I should get a thing and stuff. Summary.
Right.
These
Sure.
things I do.
ooh, a plot summary.
Yeah, it was
Summarize.
too long.
That's something you do.
Too long.
You want the case?
Oh, sure.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's gonna be
Okay, the last one I did was Cutaway.
Oh my god.
So I stopped at whatever that year was. I stopped like right there.
Oh my god.
That was like 3 years ago, wasn't it?
It was at least 2 years ago. Sorry, I apologize. If
that was the end. That was December 31st, 2013.
so, yeah, it's 2 years. I wonder if there's any comments on this. There were some that were just like, "That's not a bad movie,"
Oh, right.
because
yeah.
I
On
listed
Cutaway?
Cutaway's great.
Well, no, I listed the spoil casts on
Oh,
here.
okay.
So there were a few people.
Captain America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were a few people that were not happy with that being on there. But
Whatever.
yeah, there's no longer any comments on it. So
Cool.
Nobody cares anymore.
Cool.
No, that is not Snooker. Whoever wrote this on Trouble Man on
Snooker?
Letterboxd, that is not fucking
That's-
Snooker. That's goddamn Pool.
Come back to the United States and call it pool.
Snooker.
Call it billiards.
Snooker's a whole totally different
Yeah.
fucking
Complete
game.
completely different game.
Call
Yeah.
it billiards, like a fucking
like-
human.
Pegs and bumpers on the table.
Quit being some goddamn animal.
God
All right,
damn.
is that the same thing? Oh yeah, it sure is. How come when I tried to copy plot summaries over to Letterboxd back when it was first starting, and there was missing movies from things that we'd seen,
Yeah.
I'd copy them from IMDb. It was like, no, it's the same text as IMDb, and yet it's fine there.
Yep.
Well, then somebody put it on TMDB or whatever.
Yeah, you got to put it. You got to update the TMDB.
TMDB,
The movie database.
trademark database.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stupid.
I don't know, because when Letterboxd first started, it was missing a lot of movies, especially ones
Yeah.
we watched.
Yeah. I see. I use it to fix posters all the time.
Oh.
Because someone uploads like the Hungarian poster for something we've watched, and that's unacceptable.
And that gets you angry.
It does. Must be fixed. English or bust.
Yeah.
Speak American.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Oh, I see.
other
They
languages.
cut off part of it. That's how they got away with it. They cut off like the last couple sentences
Oh.
on Letterboxd. That's probably how it was like. Oh, sure, yeah. Yep. Anywho, podcast.
It's the same technology that your teacher uses to tell that you were cheating.
I don't cheat.
Yes, you do.
I also don't have a teacher.
What?
None of us have learned anything.
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 312.
Woo.
All right.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jockses and robot jocks.
Oh, yeah, Robot Jocks.
Woo. All right.
But, however, there are bad movies and stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags, as in douchebags, after Twilight.
Boo, yuck, not our thing.
Gross.
So here we are in year of Blaxploitation History Month. I don't remember how many years we've been doing it. A few.
Four.
Week 3, year something.
Yeah.
And it brings us 1972's Trouble Man.
Troubleman.
Trouble.
Robert Hooks is
Yes.
Troubleman.
Troubleman.
So how about we do a plot summary? We'll talk more about it.
Please do.
It seems that masked men are knocking over the floating crap games of Chalky and Pete. Chalky and Pete hire the cool, loose, elegant Mr. T to fix things. Then the masked manipulators set up the death of a collector for a rival gang lord. It looks like it's up to T to keep a gang war from breaking out, keep the police off his back, and earn his fee from Chalky and Pete.
That's
Yeah.
a fairly intense plot summary there.
Looks like
compared
it's
to
up to T.
It looks like it's up to T.
Yeah, it's up to T.
Yeah.
T.
His name in this movie is Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Or T.
Just T.
the original Mr. T.
Right. The originator.
Yeah. The T stands for, we assume, trouble.
Trouble.
Probably not. I mean, is there really a Mr. Trouble? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like more he's like anti-trouble. He's the guy you call to
He fixes
solve
trouble.
your trouble.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it seems like a weird thing to be Mr. Trouble and you
Well.
fix the trouble.
Mr. Trouble Fixer.
You could go from Trouble Man. Hey, he's the Trouble Man. He's the man that takes care of your trouble.
Yeah.
Like a trash man is the man that takes care of your trash.
Yeah.
To Trouble, they just call him Trouble, and then T, and then Mr. T because he's very well respected.
Right.
Sure.
Here
Because
comes
he's
trouble.
a bad motherfucker.
That's
your
right.
mouth.
He is.
Yeah. So,
So, should we get this out of the way now that
We should.
this might be too good to be considered a BMFcast movie?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or as far as
Pre-discussion
filmmaking
like,
goes.
yes, pre-discussion like disclaimer. We're sorry. This is probably pretty much a real movie. And, you know, we would accept any negative feedback about this being a real movie because I think it is.
Yeah. We should be totally upfront about that.
I think we watch a lot of real movies. I think it's a shock when one is this competent.
This is like super competent. Like
But this is a
This
real,
is not fucking Dolomite.
No, it's a real ass.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's in our blaxploitation wheelhouse. It's
it
not
absolutely
like
is.
Superfly, which is super depressing and serious and, you know, not fun.
I will let us off the hook with the caveat that it's like, well, I know, but that like this is almost more of a forgotten movie. It's not a bad movie, but it's a movie that needs to be known more.
Yeah,
Correct.
Lost gem.
Yes.
This is your Blaxploitation History Month history lesson.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Trouble
pay
Man
attention.
exists, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So
And
get ready.
somehow it was in a 1978 book called The 50 Worst Films of All Time.
By a couple of assholes.
assholes.
You know that book's on my 2016 worst books of all time.
That's a
There
good
you
list.
go.
Yeah, fuck that book.
Yeah. That book also proves that when it comes to making those things, people have very short memories.
Yes. Well, in 1978, you had nothing.
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything but just sit around and make up bullshit.
Well, and you couldn't rewatch the movies either.
No.
So they were probably just like, I remember that sucking.
Yeah, that was garbage. Put it in your book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerks.
Something like that.
I
But
think they're
anyway.
racists.
Could be. Doubt it.
Probably.
Just misguided fools.
Yes.
So,
But enough talk about them. Let's talk about this excellent movie.
Trouble Man starts with a lady.
It does.
Yeah.
She's in a
with
pool.
Starts with a lady in a pool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when Trouble Man
Troubleman.
walks out,
Yeah.
says, "Hey, lady, I'll be back to see you later." No, she's like, "When you coming back?" And he's like, "I don't know. Maybe never.
Yeah.
Bye."
I mean, it's a very weird cold open to it. But
But it
it
establishes
shows that he's sharp and he's cool.
yes, and he does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
He's just like, "See you later, baby."
Yeah.
It's like, "When you coming back?"
To which he gets in his car and starts driving around what I believe is L.A.
Yes, they're in Los Angeles.
Yeah. And with Marvin Gaye's fucking great theme song playing over it.
Yes. Whole soundtrack done by him.
Yeah.
As you may have
So-
reference from Captain America Winter Soldier.
So
Right.
is all the incidental music? Because I mean, to spoil a little bit about the soundtrack, like the soundtrack and the score are obviously different things.
Yeah. No, it's all Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
all Marvin Gaye. Okay,
Did it all.
Yeah. But the rest of it is scored without lyrics. This is
Correct.
the only track in there that has lyrics to it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a weird duet, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. And he's just driving around LA, listening to cool music, and then he gets home and he's got this pimp hanging out by his door.
he's just a thug with a really awesome hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like a pimp though. Because
He has-
he's got the awesome hat. He's just
Shiny vest.
This
he's
dude's
got
hat
just like
is
the hamburger
incredible.
pimp outfit going on,
Yeah.
and
Right, well, when we find out the backstory of our main antagonist of the movie, he's a pimp because they were pimps. They're just now stepped up their
Yeah,
game
they're
to
le-
new things.
Yes.
they've not gone legit.
But I mean,
they have-
T is
No.
not letting them
Change the
forget
game.
where they came from because he constantly refers to him as pimp.
Pimp.
Yeah. But he's just like, hey, man, Chalky needs to talk to you. And he's like, you can tell Chalky to kiss my black ass. And then he slams the door in the dude's face and goes into his fucking awesome apartment.
Yeah. It's, I mean,
If you like the sets from Mad Men,
uh-huh.
then and you listen to this podcast, then you're going to love every room in Trouble Man.
Specifically his bedroom, though, because like he has one wall that's badass and his bed is badass. You know, the great spread on top of it, but he has one wall that is shiny silver design,
circly designs,
but it's all closet.
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole wall is closets, and it's
Like
full
a
of
funky 70s IKEA thing.
yes,
Yeah.
They're all accordion doors and
yeah.
all his
Yeah.
badass.
It's like if there's a reason to have a time machine, it's to be able to go back and live in this time and walk into these houses and just be like, yeah, this is my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my buddy, yeah, his house looks pretty similar to this.
It's also the greatest place you've ever been in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. The best part about this time period is that you could literally put anything with anything. It didn't matter.
Clash is chic.
Yes. Colors, patterns, none of it mattered. Just whatever is cool,
As long as
put
there's
it in a room.
some shade of brown or yellow or red.
or there's some shine in it.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
good.
it's weird. It's like this, like, it's all this mid-century modern plus crazy fucked up 60s patterns and
Yep.
70s kitsch on top of that.
I mean, while we're talking about
Amazing.
the look, and there's one point where he's walking down. He's walking by what looks like a department store or a mall or something, and they've got this logo. I think it was JM. I think wasn't it? Yeah. And like to describe the logo, it would like there was a painted like hippie style shiny paint thing behind with like flowers and like weird typography of the JM, but then on top of it was like this like black steel, like almost like fence material bent into a JM, like sitting on top of it. So
Yep.
like that's the juxtaposition of like this like shiny ass like crazy hippie like street art, and then there's just like just I don't know, just steel thing on top of it. I mean, it's just like just imagine like the whole thing of that. It's like this doesn't go with this, but it somehow does because this movie's awesome.
Yeah.
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 So, he changes his clothes, and we're rooting for the items that he's pulling out of his closet.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
sure. 'cause
Like,
you
no,
can
no,
see.
put those boots on. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Those boots are fine,
because-
too.
Yeah. Well, he has some like white, like badass boots, but he ends up like pulling out some brown suede boots or something.
Yeah, but let's make this clear. Mr. T is always well-dressed in a suit throughout the movie.
Yes, the entire movie. Everything he
Entire
does,
movie.
he is dressed to the... Just
And he has multiple suits that he wears throughout the movie, but
Yeah.
all of them are sharp. And they're not like crazy, pimp, frilly,
No.
anything. They're just like really nice-looking 70s suits.
The only thing that looks kind of stupid
He's
is
got-
that he's got wide, short ties. That would be
Yeah.
like
He
the
does.
one thing that, like,
Yeah, the ties are a little weird.
That's kind of dumb.
He has one coat that he wears, or one jacket that he wears, that is a little bit outlandish. It's
The blue, black one?
blue
Yeah.
and black velvet,
Yes.
but it's beautiful.
Who
It's
cares?
don't care.
like
'Cause
it just looks so nice, and it's all of the everything he wears. It just fits so well.
Yeah.
He's a sharp dressed man.
It's like
the
what
thing.
you would wear if you were going on the Tonight Show in 1972. It's not like, check out this crazy motherfucker. It's like, that motherfucker is styling.
Yeah. And
Yes.
and that's
All
the thing
that
about
stuff
Robert
would look fine
Hooks.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Hooks throughout this is just he's cool as shit.
Yes.
Like and all the outfits that he wears only accentuate that.
Yeah. He has his shit together the entire
Yeah.
time. Mm-hmm. He's like super confident. It doesn't matter what he's doing or where he is or what he's wearing. It is always just like, I am the coolest motherfucker
Yeah.
within a 50-mile radius. Doesn't matter what is happening.
And the way they demonstrate this right off the bat is so great because he, as we learn, he owns what is basically a pool hall.
Yes.
But he kind of operates all his other business from this pool hall.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like that's his front.
Does he own it, or is it Jimmy's?
No, Jimmy
I think
runs it.
Jimmy runs
Jimmy
it, but
runs it,
it's
yeah. Jimmy's
call
like
it
his
Jimmy's.
assistant.
Yeah.
So-
but
Yeah.
you can't call it tease because then the cops would be there all the time.
yeah, because it's
Silent partner.
what happens is he goes down to the pool hall, and the guy and Jimmy's like, "All right, I got some messages for you," and everyone's, they're like, "This person called about this," and he's like, "All right, well, we'll take care of that," and he's like, "Yeah, and there's something else going on that you need to call this guy." He's like, "All right, it's cool," and like Jimmy is really cool too because it's hard to explain. He's almost like his secretary,
He is the
But-
world's best personal assistant
Yeah.
/ pool hall owner.
but he's
he's
also
just cool as fucking
yeah,
ice.
he's also cool too.
Yeah.
Like in a completely different way from Mr. T.
He's
But-
very eager.
Yeah. But yeah, he gives him the message and Mr. T's like, "I'm going in here, I got something to do." And he's like, this cat here he wants to play pool against you and
Yeah.
only you, and he wants to put money on it.
And he drops his name right away, which we saw in the credits. Like, everyone's got, normal names in the credits. And then suddenly in the opening credits, there's somebody, James, what was it, Texas Blood?
Blood, yeah.
Yeah, he was James Brown, but they had to put Texas Blood in there. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's not that James Brown.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's sort of like, you're watching the credits, it's like somebody's got a nickname in the opening credits. You're like, well, who's that guy?
That guy's
Yeah.
going to be
Well, we
something.
don't have to wait very long because that's this guy. It's this young dude. First it looks like he's carrying, until you realize where you are, it looks like he's carrying a flute, but it's a pool cue, holder case.
Yep.
And he's ready to try to take on T in a high stakes pool game.
Yep.
And T's just kind of like, yeah, all right, whatever.
You got the money, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the guy's like,
Well, he like opens up the case and is doing like the slow screw it together, and then T's just like, just give me one of the cues off the wall, like whatever.
I was really like,
You're kind of hoping him to like.
No. So when I was in my early 20s, I spent a lot of time in one of the 24-hour pool halls here in town because I had weird hours, and it was like the thing that I could actually do when I got off of work.
Right.
The best, baddest motherfuckers that would come in there would grab a cue off of the rack and beat anybody with it. Beat everybody who brought their $6,000 pool cues in their titanium cases. So I was like, oh man, is he going to grab one off the wall? Yes! So I was rooting, really rooting for him.
About all he does is he does the roll it on the table to make sure it's not wobbly.
Right.
But that's it. He's like,
acceptable.
we're good.
And so and this guy's like still just kind of talking shit. And he's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to call all my shots just to make it a little easier on you.
I thought the other nice thing about this, about him taking the one off the wall, is it kind of like said the statement of like, we don't have shitty cues here. This is T and Jimmy's place.
Yeah.
Like, every cue here is good.
Yeah.
Like, we don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I got that from it too. It was like,
They are playing on T's special table,
Sure,
which is covered and
there's 12 tables out there for the common folks to play on, but he's got his special covered table. Nobody touched this.
But this guy basically runs the table except for one thing, and then T just kind of as his turn is coming up, some guy comes over and is like, hey man, I need something. He's like, all right, what do you need? And the guy's like, okay, like my buddy, he's in jail and he's already supposed to, he skipped bail once, and he's like, well, he knows he's not going to skip out on, like, T's like, he doesn't skip out on me. He understands this, right?
I will hunt him down and break both his legs. He knows. He knows.
And this guy's just like, I know. And he's like, all right. And he takes his money, and then he's just like, all right, time to make some shots. And he just runs almost the whole table. And then there's one, and the guy's like, you gonna call your shot, man?
Yeah.
And he goes, why don't you call it? He goes, where you want it?
Yeah.
And the guy goes, I want you to hit this one. Like, I want you to bank it from here to here and hit it in the side pocket.
Yeah, 2 rails in a pocket.
Yeah.
Like, basically next to where it was.
Yeah.
Like a really tough shot.
And T's like, all right, yoink.
It does it. Like, that's the thing, is like,
nails
the thing is like the guy, all right, so Texas Blood kid, like, called his break. He called the break. He goes, stripes. And it's a one take, and he breaks and knocks a stripe in.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, like, how many times did they have to do that, or was this guy actually really good at pool? Like, they both appear to be really good at pool.
Nickname.
Yeah.
But he's just an actor.
Guy.
I think he's just an actor, though. I don't. Maybe he's a pool guy.
Robert Hooks's stuff, there was good camera work on.
Okay.
Texas Bloods, they held the shots. That dude made his shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it took 100 takes, but that dude made his shots for real.
Yeah.
Right.
And that dude can play.
Robert Hooks did hit the shot that the guy called, said, hit this, and he, in the same shot, just went yoink and hit it. And then on the very next shot, was just a total dick about it because he had a shot in the side pocket and then just banked it off the sides twice until it hit the opposite side pocket. Like, basically just looking at the guy while hitting it like, I'm the baddest motherfucker. How dare you challenge me? Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's an interesting system going on here, because the other thing in the middle of this pool game is Jimmy's come over and told him about a situation with a shitty apartment building and a lady and her like 3-year-old kid got hurt, like leaned on a handrail and it gave way and they fell off and like hurt the kid.
Yeah, in the middle of this intense pool game, he's still running
he's still negotiating deals.
Right.
And just he doesn't even look at the dude for most of it. He's just watching watching Texas Blood play his game.
I like that they have a line on the floor where the people waiting. Apparently, there's a signal, and I like that movies are like this where it's subtle enough that you have to pick it up. But the guy that needed the bail bonds help is smoking a cigarette and like specifically puts it out with his shoe on the floor a certain way, and that's what gets T's attention. And I think that must be like the unspoken, like, you need T's help. This is how you get it. Because like he does that, and he's like, "Oh, hey, behind the line, what you need there?" And he negotiates the brother's bail bond thing.
Yeah, and so T sinks the 8-ball, of course. After that, and guy goes, "All right, well, double or nothing. Let's do this again." He's like, "If you got the money, man, whatever."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and at this point, Paul Winfield has come in in an early role where he still looks old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Paul
he's
Winfield,
young Paul Winfield, but he looks
He's
old.
one of those guys who was just born old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Oh, like Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, he and his sleazy looking white buddy,
Mr. Walton.
yeah, have come in. Is that? Oh, that's right. It is Mr. Walton.
It's the guy from the Waltons.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
oh my
weird.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
That
but
was
he's
bugging the
still,
shit.
like,
I thought it was. I kept calling him like Gene Roddenberry guy because he looks like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
too.
But yeah,
he's sleazy as fuck looking. He's got like the pink sunglasses on.
They
and
match his
just-
outfit.
Yeah, but I mean like white lenses,
Yeah.
but like pink tint. On
Yeah.
it. Yeah. He's terrible looking, but yeah, they come in and they realize that they have to wait behind the line. So they're waiting behind the line as this game's going on.
Chalky tells him, like, no, you got to wait behind the line.
Yeah.
Man. You don't cross that line.
Right. Yeah, and so basically T wins the second pull.
Because the guy scratches on the 8-ball.
Right. Yeah, he didn't have to do anything. Like, he never got out of his chair.
Yeah, he never got out of his chair.
Like, Jimmy runs over, is like, he scratched. He's like, well, whatever, give me the money.
Yep.
Well, of course, the kid's like, one more, and he's just like, nah.
Nah.
He doesn't even say anything.
no,
he's just like folding up the money, like, we're done here. And kid just like grabs his case from the guy that was handing it out
And
to
he
him.
was from, like, didn't they say he was from Texas?
Well, he's named
Yeah.
Texas Blood.
Yeah.
I think they said he'd come from Texas to play you.
Yeah,
Sure.
Well, the guy went to hand him his case to put his pool cue back in, and was just like, "Sorry, bro," and and that guy was like, "Son of a, give me that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, basically the scheme that Paul Winfield and Mr. Walton come to is that, like, they've got a shady. Well, they go get in the car first. Like, they go. There's an interesting scene there where they make Mr. Walton ride in the back seat, and T once again proves that he's a master of words. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
How he puts everybody in their place with just words all the time.
He tells him, he's like, because Paul Winfield's about to get in the back seat,
Right.
and he goes, nah, let your buddy ride in the back of the bus.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Well, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
But
drive
he-
around, and they're just he's basically like,
But he's again.
Does he say, like,
he's
he'll learn
multitasking.
something?
something like
Something
that.
like
Yeah,
that.
he's
It's a
multitasking,
good
you know,
line.
because like he is going to the building to deal with the landlord situation too,
Right.
While talking to them, and basically they're like, you know, he's again calling them pimps because of their background. And he's like, "Now we've got this new thing. We're running craps." He's like, "You know, we've partnered up. We've got the white side of town and the black side of town, and we basically just split the profits so nobody has a bad day." Mm-hmm. And
Sounds like a good racket.
yeah, and so he's like, "All right, so what does that have to do with me?" And he's like, "Well, we've been getting knocked over. We've got people who are coming in, wearing masks and stealing the money from the games, and we have no idea, and we need your help." And basically, they start like trying to offer him like $1,000 for his help, and he's like,
He's
the
like,
next
"Get
guy,
the fuck out
the
of
next,
here."
he's like, "I can make more than that, just like answering phones back
says-
at Jimmy's or whatever."
He says, I want 1 day's take.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Okay,
how about $1,000? How about $1,000? He's like, man, I can make $1,000 just sitting on my ass at Jimmy's. And they're like, how about
$4,500?
$2,000? He's like, nah.
Well,
No.
like it's like in between the negotiation that he just pulls up to a building and it's just like drive around the block for 5 minutes.
Well, I think he finished the money part, but then he was like, I'll be back to you," but I don't know, whatever.
Well, he just
He
suddenly
just stops.
the car
Yeah.
in front of the building.
Oh, that's what it was,
Gets
'cause
out and goes driving around the block. I'll be back out in a couple
5
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, because it was kind of like they offered him the $1,000 and he immediately whipped in front of the building.
Okay.
like
Right.
because we were like, "Get the fuck out!" So
No, it's him that gets out.
yeah, I know. He goes into the building where he goes.
But he just does this, like, he stops just far enough from the curb, like, "I don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
And then it's just like, he says to Paul Winfield, like, "Drive it around the block. I'll be back in 5 minutes."
And Paul Winfield looks at the guy in the back like,
And he just
"This guy, Jesus."
Paul Winfield
And he
is
slides
chalky,
over
right?
and does it, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So he goes up to harass Mr. Carlson from WKRP, who is just like, I don't own this building. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And T is just menacing the fuck out of him. Just basically like, I don't care who owns it. I don't care what their deal is. You're going to take care of it.
Pay for the kid's hospital bill, go apologize to the mother, and fix the damn building.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk about this some more, if you know what I mean. And the guy's like, okay.
All right.
And he goes outside, gets back in the car, and this is, I guess he finishes negotiating. He's like, I want $10K.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? That's not one night's take. And he's like, well, that's my price.
$10K.
And they're like, all right.
Well,
I
yeah.
guess.
Well, what they do is he basically says, if you want me to do this, I'll do the first night. I'll be a guy playing the game. I'll see how they run their scam.
Yeah, because he's trying to ask
And
like
then
what details about the guys. He's like, the guy's robbing you, white or black.
Yeah.
What does it matter? He's like, I don't know. They're fully masked, they're wearing sunglasses,
And
gloves,
they never say anything.
Never say anything. You're like, how do we know?
Yeah,
we don't
he's
know
like-
anything.
He's like, all right, fine.
He's like, fine,
I'll show up to
I'll-
the thing. I'll see what the deal is, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
He basically wants to case the robbery.
Yeah.
It's like reverse casing.
And then he just pulls up to the side of the road, just somewhere else.
Yeah, and he goes, now get out. The two of you are fucking up a nice day. And just kicks their asses out of the car and drives off.
Yeah. And they're left there to be like, you motherfucker.
to be
what?"
fair, it is a really nice day. It looks like a beautiful day in LA.
And they are ruining it. He was schooling motherfuckers in his pool hall.
Yeah, and he's basically like, if you want, it's 10 grand. If you want me in, give me a call before 7. You know how to find me.
I think he goes and sees this lady, but not really important. I think that's how he spends the rest of his nice day. But
they show his woman who's like, I might need to sing at the club in Chicago, and he's like, well, I can't go, I got business.
He's like, well, when do you leave? And she's like, well, I'm not if you're not. And he's like, whatever, just
yeah, it's
Make up
weird.
your own mind.
He's got this very strange relationship with this one lady. Like it's we see throughout the movie.
He has
he's
his
not
own place, but he drops in here during the day.
Yeah, I don't really understand it because it's
Whatever.
obvious. He's from the first. It's not the same lady from the beginning of the movie.
Oh, no.
It's not. It's not ladies from later in the movie. It's just like he seems to have this one special lady.
This
friend.
is his regular lady,
His
and
special
he
lady friend.
gets some side action every
Right.
once in a while.
I'm just saying, like they have this weird thing where he goes and hangs out with her, and she's just like very whatever you want to do. I can't make up my own mind, but you want to do this? No.
Yeah.
So
She
whatever.
wants so
apparently all
badly
she
to be
does
the
is-
only squeeze that she's willing to do
Yeah.
whatever, including being the main squeeze amongst a bunch of other side pieces.
But yeah, so
But he goes back to the pool hall briefly.
right.
And that's when Jimmy gives him the message. He's like, yeah, you got a few messages. The landlord called, and he said, he said, or was it the lady from the hospital called, and she said the landlord dropped by and like
Paid their bill,
paid their bill and brought flowers and was apologizing.
and he's on his way to fix everything in the
Yeah.
building right now.
And like I said, because it's Jimmy that reported all this, he's just kind of smiling. He's like, good job.
And Mr. T is just like, man, it's funny how those things work sometimes, isn't it?
Weird.
It's just the good of his heart, isn't it?
What a nice man.
But now,
But he also,
he goes to the dice. He goes to the craps game.
yeah, and
There's some weird shenanigans going on before he gets there.
yeah,
like-
because when they make the call, like when Chalky calls him, Chalky, who is Paul Winfield, when he calls him, there's like some guy that they've got there.
It's tied up in a chair.
Comically tied up in a chair with
Yeah.
a gag.
And there's a lot of dudes around, and it's like you can tell they're planning something, but it's never really clear what's going on.
It's not clear for a long time what's
Yeah.
going on, but yeah, you can tell like, okay, Chalky and his gang are up to something. This is not on the up and up. Their illegal criminal activity is not on the up and up.
They're not honest in their dice game.
But they're having a conversation. Like I don't remember what point if like he gets there first, but they've got the guy tied up and he's wearing this like really bizarre like blue houndstooth jacket thing. It's like super unique, and they've got one just like it. And he's like, "Oh no, that's a single breasted or it's a double breasted. He's wearing single, whatever." But he's like, T will notice these things. Go get the right thing. And like meanwhile, this guy's tied up. So T shows up to the craps game, is kind of standing there acting like he's playing, and
Well, now wait, hold on. Before he
gets
goes
in.
in,
sorry, yes,
the pimp is the guy
pimp.
the guy
from the
yeah
beginning.
hat
the
pimp.
hamburger pimp guy.
Yeah, he's at the door and he just starts saying some shit to T. I'm not even exactly sure what he's saying. It kind of sounds like a greeting, but also he's probably putting him down at the same time.
I can't remember exactly what he said, but he referenced the last time that they met.
Okay.
And said some bullshit.
Yeah.
And T's like, nah. Blong.
Yes.
Gives him a couple elbows for his trouble.
Yeah, and he's like, "Watch my car."
yeah. If anything happens, to, I'm blaming you. I'm coming back for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, now he's playing dice, and
Right.
just kind of standing there like he still doesn't look like he fits in with the people that are
No.
here.
Everybody knows him, though.
But as soon as he's like,
Everybody knows
"Hey,
him.
everybody," they're like, "Oh man, T's here! Great!"
Yeah. And he's just kind of
T."
leaning over, like got money in his hand, like acting like he's playing.
Yeah.
It's
playing
interesting
craps.
to me that they had set up that Chalky has like the action from the black side of the street, and that Pete has all the white people. But when they get to this dice game, it's almost split 50-50.
Yeah, it's a pretty good mix
Yeah.
of
It's a very
degenerate gamblers.
it's a progressive degenerate gambler.
The degenerate gamblers know no boundaries.
They
only see one color, green.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but eventually, the four dudes bust in, take everyone's money, take their guns,
Yeah, never say a word
Nope.
and just run out.
and you can see that they've got the other guy. Like they force him to wear the hood and put the gloves on. And,
Yeah.
So just to make this clear, the guy
that was
who
tied
had been
up.
tied up is still tied up in the
Yeah,
right.
room on the bottom floor
Right.
with the balaclava and the gloves and everything. And there's a guy that looks just
Dressed like.
there's a guy that's dressed just like him that has a hood and gloves and everything that's doing
Yeah, and basically those four of them run out the door, and then they like open up the door and throw this guy, like they hand him like throw a gun in his hand like last second and like throw him out the door and then duck back in the door so that
They dropped they actually
dropped
dropped
it?
a gun
Yeah.
on the ground
Okay.
right inside the exterior door.
Sure.
But they put a bag in his hand.
Oh, okay.
Which
So-
supposedly has all the
so
some money in it.
T and Chalky come around the corner from upstairs.
yeah, and they're the last ones to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
So Chalky like pulls his gun. He's like, "I'm gonna go get this motherfucker," quote unquote. There were air quotes when he said it.
Yeah.
And
just
he
basically-
runs out the door and starts down the stairs.
Right.
And,
And
T comes behind
shoots
him.
him 3 times in the back.
Yeah. And
T's
like,
trying to keep him
and
like,
T's
no,
like,
Chalky,
God
don't shoot the.
damn it.
Oh,
fucking
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
great. Now
Yeah.
we don't know
Chalky,
anything.
moron.
yeah. And then Chalky's like, "Well, you got to clean this up, man. That's what we." And he's like, "You didn't hire me to clean up bodies. You hired me to find out who's ripping you off.
Clean up your own mess.
Yeah,
Bye.
deal with your shit."
Yeah.
Because they do take the guys the mask off and they're like, oh, it's this
it's
guy,
Abby.
Yeah.
Abby. So
Abby Smith.
Abby, he runs with Big.
Yeah.
He's one of Big's guys.
He's like, I'll see what I can find out about Abby.
Abby doesn't do anything unless Big tells him to do
Right.
it.
It's like, y'all get rid of this body. I got shit
Yeah.
to do. And then it's just T asking questions around town.
Yeah, he goes around asking about. He calls people. He goes to see people, and he's like, "Have you seen this guy? Who's he hanging out with?" He's got different ladies and people that he goes and meets, and it's just kind of establishing everyone knows T, and he has all these connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually, he's just asking about these people, who he knows, where he's been hanging out. Does he do anything without Mr. Big knowing about it? And and eventually, like the cops come and grab him.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
Yeah.
hey, we're arresting. Oh, he's talking to a boxer. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
He's
and
talking
they're-
to this boxer guy trying to
Who
get more
apparently knew
information.
Abby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're in a gym that looks a lot like the gym in Hammer. I mean,
It
it's
does. I assume all 70s boxing gyms.
Probably.
just big empty space with a ring
Yep.
in it and some
Right.
sawhorse that people do sit-ups on.
But yeah, so he's talking to this guy, and like he's like, the cops come in and are like, hey, these two guys that apparently he knows,
Paco and the other one.
come to arrest him, and he's just like, you can't be serious. And like, what's the charge? He's like, murder, and he's like, oh my god, fine,
I'll go deal with
like
your
he's basically like, all right, put your hands on the ring, and we're gonna search you. And he's like, I have a license to carry a gun. I don't do it.
Yeah.
But look anyway. And the guy's like, yeah, all right, he's telling the truth. We don't
Yeah.
have to search him.
Just
And
come
he,
Yeah, well, the one guy's like all about it, and
Right.
the other dude is like, "Nah, if T said he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it."
Yeah. So let's go.
he's not going to give us trouble.
Right.
And so he tells the boxer guy, like, call Jimmy or whatever. He'll know what to do. So
Yeah.
he goes down. He goes downtown to meet with the captain. Essentially, like they're doing. I guess the cops are doing crime scene stuff. We don't really ever see it, but like he's just brought into the captain's office, sat down in a chair, and like they're just gonna have a chat.
Yeah.
And it starts super civil. Like they're just like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? I know why you're here. Yeah, I didn't do it. And he's like, well, we'll see. And he's like, basically starts asking questions. So the best thing about this is like right at the beginning, he's like, hey, you want some coffee? He's like, calls the sergeant. He's like, bring a cup of coffee and 2 cups in. And he's like, nah, I'm not going to be here long enough to drink that.
Yeah. Yeah, because the captain's basically like, okay, we know you killed Abby, and why?
Yeah, we just want to know why.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, what? Why would I do that and then dump the body somewhere where you people would find it with a witness looking? This is all stupid.
Yeah, he's like, you know me, I'm not that stupid. I didn't do it, and even if I did, I wouldn't do it this poorly.
He's like, right now the crime lab's out there investigating your car, and we can check for, the gunpowder on your hands. And look, like, he's been there maybe 5 minutes, but a guy comes in and is basically like, car's clean, chief.
He has the visible look of, damn it.
God.
It's also the sergeant that brings in the coffee.
Yeah.
Like, he coffee in 2 cups. He's like, by the way, this guy's car's clean. He's fine. You should probably let him go. Here's the coffee.
He basically begins like, the captain's like, call me whatever his name was.
Call me Joe.
Joe, yeah. He's like, he's trying to make it friendly, but like T's not really having any of it. And by the end, he's basically in his face. He's like, look, you don't like me for some reason, therefore I don't like you. You know what? I'm a licensed. I'm licensed to carry a gun, and I'm a licensed private investigator, which means I can enter the law library whenever I want, and I do that upon occasion. And I read lots of things, and I know that you're holding me without any evidence. So either you
charge me
with something, or I'm turning around and walking out. And he stands up, starts to walk the door, and he's like, "We good? All right, bye."
No, but the captain comes up to him and he's like, "Yeah, well, if I wasn't on this side of the law, I'd probably be doing what you're doing,
right.
Just stretching things and making stuff fit. And I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it because I know you, because I would be like you." And he goes, "You don't know."
I think he says something like, "I'm a bad dude," or "You're a bad dude," and I'm a bad dude too.
Yeah, I'm a bad dude too, which doesn't come off nearly as cool as T. And T's just like, "Nah, you don't know me. Fuck off."
Yep. Fuck off, Joe.
Yep. And that's when he leaves.
Yeah.
And then immediately, as soon as he gets outside, there's dudes waiting for him.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah. The Big wants to talk to
Oh,
him.
yeah, and they had said, like, you got a guy here with bail already.
Yeah.
What the fuck's up with that? And he's like,
Hey, we're
jungle drums. He says jungle drums.
Yes, he does. Yep.
Well, is it this time or something else where he's like, "Why didn't you get a lawyer involved?" I think it's later.
That's later.
That's later.
Yeah, that's the second time he
okay,
goes to the police station. But yeah,
second time he deals with the police chief or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, dudes are outside and they take him to Big.
Yeah.
Big is the dude from Live and Let Die.
Yep. Now, one of the dudes from Big Live and Let Die.
Yeah, but that guy.
James
Yeah.
Bond.
Not Yaphet.
Oh,
No.
Sadly, no Yaphet.
Wasn't the henchman with the claw hand?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Sure that's which guy
He
was,
also
but-
looks a lot like Michael Clark Duncan.
He does, kind of.
Like
does,
the really skinny, shorter
Yeah.
version of Michael Clark Duncan.
right.
Yeah. But Big's basically like, "Yeah, so why'd you kill my guy?"
It's like, man, I didn't kill your guy.
Yeah, he's like,
That's
"Come
dumb.
he basically does the exact same speech of like, "Look, would I have really been so stupid to kill him where there's witnesses and then dump him out like on the freeway or wherever it was?"
Yeah.
He's like, "You make good points, T."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somebody killed him, and I'm not happy about that. So he starts like,
Well, he basically
Theorizing.
accuses Chalky.
yeah, he's like, well,
or not Chalky. He accuses Big of.
Well, I think he lets T like talk. He's like, well, what do you think? He's like, well, either you were ordering him to do things, or he was going rogue, or they set it up. So these are pretty much the options here.
But it is interesting. Does he tell him specifically at that point that Chalky killed the guy?
No.
No, they're going to
Is
try and
that
figure
later?
it out. They're like, why don't we all meet and talk
Yeah.
this out? And
They
get to
joust
the bottom
around
of
it
this.
a little
think
Because he's like,
a little bit, but-
someone's playing games, right? And he's like, yeah, I think
I
someone's
think Big
playing
comes
games.
to that conclusion because he's like, well, if you didn't shoot him, and I think it was like only you and Chalky were left behind, so
But
Chalky must have shot him.
He doesn't say that until the meeting later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
All right,
remember.
all right.
Whether because he's like, it's interesting how close to the vest T plays everything. Like, because he's got all the evidence to be like, no, this is actually what happened. But he doesn't tell it to the police chief. He doesn't tell it to this guy.
Yeah, he's just like, let's have a meet. Like, I'm gonna secure the pool hall. So why don't you guys come and we'll all we'll hash this out.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not going over there to meet them.
Yeah, he's like, no,
Well,
it'll be safe. Don't worry.
Well, at first he's like, I'm not going to go meet. Big doesn't want to meet Chalky at Chalky's place. Chalky doesn't want to meet Big at Big's place. So
Right.
then that's
Yeah.
when he comes up with the idea, let's just meet at Jimmy's.
Right.
Yeah,
Neutral territory.
because there's a point where T goes and talks to Chalky and Pete, and is like, "Fuck, guys,
Yeah.
like, what's going on here?"
yeah,
They're like, "We don't know, man.
No, it's-
why is that guy doing this?"
yeah. But so like T goes back to the pool hall and tells Jimmy like, okay, shut it down. And
Yeah,
Jimmy's
'cause
being
they
like,
do all agree
closed.
to meet there.
Get out.
Well, there's one guy putting up a protest. He's like, "What? You don't close now? Why are you closing so early?" And he's like, "We're closing early." He's like, "No, you don't close this early." He's like, "T wants to close this early." The guy's like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
My apologies.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
And one set of guys finished their game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
No, they
place-
don't even
I
finish.
think
they get
just
fucked out.
clear out.
No, everyone gets out.
No, they
'Cause
get the
there's-
fuck out.
There's one guy left who
There was one guy arguing about you don't close now, and
Yeah.
then that's.
But they were closing up in a couple minutes, and so they flash back, and a guy's like, "Okay, well, thanks for letting me finish, Jimmy," and walks out. They finished they had 2 balls left or something.
Yeah.
Most men only have 2 balls left.
The listeners can't see me shaking my head right now.
Too bad. And then they hustle everybody out the door.
Yeah, and then so Big shows up first. Well, one of Big's guys shows up first
to
and,
make sure the place is cool.
Yeah, and T is just like, you don't want to get on my bad side, guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any problem with you whatsoever.
Yeah, this was the guy when he went to Big's place. He was outside and he kind of pulled a fast one on him and got his gun away from him. And this guy's trying to show off you didn't take me.
Yeah,
I can take you. And
well, he walks in
he's
trying to be tough. He's I want to play a game, and they're like, "Yeah, we know who you are."
Right, and basically he just solves it. It was basically at the end he's just kind of man, we don't have beef. And the guy's like, "Yeah, you're right. Okay."
T gives him a quarter. He's like,
Right.
or nickel. He's like, "Buy yourself a Coke, man."
Yeah, we don't have a beef here. Come on. And the guy's like, you make a good point.
I like Coke.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Coke product placement in this because Mr. T drinks Coke every time he enters the pool hall. Well, not in those terms, but it's
totally
just
ruined the movie for me.
Yeah.
It took me out of it.
Oh my
completely.
god, Coke! But yeah, every time he goes in, he goes straight to the machine and pulls out gets a glass bottle of Coke and just starts drinking it. And
it's one of those really classic. You put in a nickel and you
pull out the bottle out of the little.
It's got the bottle opener built into it.
And they probably had the little rack on the side where you put the empties.
Yeah,
it did. I saw it.
Yeah, of course it did.
Yep.
And when Big comes in, T just hands him the Coke he's been drinking. Here you go, have a Coke
And a smile.
And a smile.
Yep. And Big's like, see if my picture's still on the wall.
Yeah. Which the other guy's like, it's there.
You want me to take it? He's like, no, man. That's
an honor.
Yeah.
But he kind of saunters over. He's like, "Oh, this is the king seat. This is where you sit." He's like, "May I?" And he's like, "Just this once."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
You're only going to be here this one time anyway.
I think he tells him only once.
yeah, it's just this once.
Yeah.
Which,
But
because-
that's kind of when they both lay it out for each other, and he's like, "Listen, either you knew that he was pulling these jobs,
Or someone set us up.
and
here.
that's how you knew he was dead, and could call the cops on me, or they did, or they set him up and they set me up." He's like, "Yeah, both of those sound pretty reasonable."
Yep.
But
yeah,
it wasn't my guy.
And they're just waiting for Chalky and what's his face to show up.
Pete.
Yeah.
Yep. But
And-
the cops show up.
Well, yeah, they're like, so they
Yeah.
got somebody watching the door,
Quote unquote cops.
and they're like, "Oh, it's the fuzz," and they do the best
Oh, it's just, yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you wanted a cue earlier? Grab one now." And he goes and throws his jacket over here. They both grab cues.
They rip the cover off the table.
Yeah, they rip the cover off the table, and he just takes the balls and goes, "Wah!" Throws them on the table so that they're just all in a pattern, standing there like they're playing pool.
Yeah, but these cops come in. They're not cops.
They don't. Yeah, they
No.
basically don't say anything. They kind of shuffle everyone to the side. I think they take out his 2 henchmen outside or
Yeah,
whatever.
they just shuffle them out
Yeah,
of the
I
door
don't know where they
immediately.
go. I'm assuming maybe they killed them off screen. or
They're
something.
mentioned later.
Oh, that they were killed? No.
But they're not
I think
around
so.
anymore. They
Oh,
say
okay.
they're
Yeah.
not around anymore.
Well, but they separated
Those
everybody.
guys are gone.
They separate everybody enough and basically just start. They take 3 or 4 shots into Big's chest. He's just still sitting on the chair, and the guy's just like, "Ha!"
Yeah, the cop just shoots him, but with
they take T's gun.
Oh, that's is that okay?
Yep.
And they throw it on a pool table near the door, and then as they're running out with the other 2 guys, they turn around, grab T's gun, and fire 3 shots into Big's chest.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
and
then,
then leave him.
yeah.
Yeah. So Big's almost dead. He gets one more word out to T as he's dying or
He's
whatever.
like, yeah, I think someone is messing with you.
Well, yeah, they said he says they set you up, T.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
then
then T's like, "Motherfucker!"
Yeah.
But then it's very quickly "All right."
Hatch plan.
Yeah. Because it's you could just see the gears turning. All right. And essentially, he goes to the Coke machine, opens it up with a key, has a secret, I'm assuming, clean gun
Yep.
on the bottom of there, pulls it out, takes 2 shots towards the door, like wipes it down, puts it in Big's hand, fires it like pulling his finger up into the ceiling like he was falling down, firing one last shot.
Yeah.
And then takes his gun, walks across where the cop shot him from, puts like a couple shots in the wall, and then like waits for the cops to arrive, essentially.
Yep. He's like, basically saying to Big while he's dead, is like, look, man, I know it didn't go down like this, but you're dead, so I gotta make this look like something.
Yeah. So they come and like he's basically like, yeah, this guy, he accused me of killing his guy. I told him I didn't, and he tried to shoot at me in self-defense.
Yeah. Self-defense is not a crime.
I love that the chief is completely like, yeah, I know this is all complete bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's like, well, you check his hand. He's gonna have he's gonna have the gunpowder.
Yeah. And he's like,
really? How would you know that? He's like, well, because you did shoot at me. He's like,
of course he did.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
But I just love that the chief is basically like, I know you did all this, but you're going to get off anyway.
Yeah,
and he's also
I know it's going to pan out exactly how you're saying it went down, but it's bullshit.
He's also remembering details about it. He's like, oh, God damn it. Plus, he's been busted before, so he's a criminal with a gun.
Yeah.
And his gun's not registered.
It's not registered, and yours is. Damn it. He just keeps like remembering other little details about how he's going to get off on this.
But he's still like...
This is further reinforcing that T is a cool motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
T will just always be like 10 steps ahead.
Yeah. He
always
does not panic. He has done his research. Mm-hmm. He's not ripping anybody off so far as we can tell. He's a good fucking criminal.
Yep.
He's a smooth criminal.
But he still gets arrested. Like the chief's
like, you know what? You're going to get off, but we're going to go through all this. We're going to book you. We're going to get you a mug shot. We're going to let you sleep in a cell.
Yep.
What was the thing I was mentioning earlier that happened the second time?
It's going to happen here after this stuff because they take him in, they fingerprint him.
Oh yeah,
they throw him in a cell and all this stuff. It's just like, and then just immediately, like, I'm surprised they didn't do just like the film wipe of the screen flipping, like doo doo doo, and then it's just like, well, you're free to go.
Yeah,
and that's when he's in.
Oh yeah, he's like, the district attorney suggested I release you.
Yeah,
or something like that, and he's like,
why didn't you just hire a lawyer to get you out? And he's like, you did it for free.
Yeah, why do I pay a guy when you just did it for free?
Chief's like, God,
you son of a bitch.
Yep.
You're absolutely right, but you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at this point, we've gone back to Chalky and Pete. And of course, Pete's like the one who's behind everything. He's like, oh, we don't need to worry about it. And Chalky is losing his shit.
Chalky is both ensign awarding and hype manning at the same time.
Yeah.
He's freaking the hell out, but as he's freaking out, he's hyping up what T is going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're just like, it's one guy. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's going to do this.
There's a reason why we picked this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's just, it's hilarious because they knew he was a badass to start with. Why they roped him into this bullshit.
He actually gives a decent justification for it very later on. But at this point, like the partner, Jimmy the white part, or not Jimmy,
Jimmy the white.
No. Pete the white partner is just like, it's so simple, man. The cops, it's all going to lead back to him no matter what we do because he already killed the one guy. The one guy tried to kill him for that, and he killed him too.
Yeah. It's like nothing's on us. Yeah, we can just move in on Big's territory.
Yeah. And he's like, and if we kill him, the cops will thank us probably.
Yeah. So we're golden. Mm-hmm. And no, Paul Winfield's not having any of it. He's just like, I don't know, man.
He's like, I'm leaving town. I don't care what you do, but I would suggest probably leaving, but I'm leaving now.
Yeah.
Bye.
And he's just like, nah, I'm going to go up. I'm going to go to my penthouse. There's all white people there. He's going to stand out.
And we'll get him.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it.
It'll be easy.
Paul Winfield's just like, great. I'll be on a plane somewhere else. I'll hire a bunch of dudes from New York and Philly to take care of it way later when I'm nowhere near the situation.
Yep.
Bye.
I love how fed up Chalky is with the whole situation. It's like, man, you talked me into this shit. Now I'm gonna die. A bunch of people died. Man, fuck you. I'm gone.
And T's cool. I pissed off a cool dude. What the hell?
And now T's basically like now on somewhat defensive mode because he calls Jimmy. He's like, hey, you might want to get out of town. Jimmy's like, of course. Like, how long? He's like, probably a week. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's like all has to say.
Like, Jimmy, how long will it take you to pack? 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right.
How long will I be gone? About 7 days.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it.
And then he calls his special lady friend and is like, hey, pack. And she's like, where am I going? He's like, just pack. Click.
Yes.
Like he just easily dismisses her again. Just like, do it because I said.
Like, he does go over there at one point to accelerate her leaving, and she's just like, where am I going? And he's like, where do you want to go? And she's like, I don't know.
He's like, I don't care where you go. Just
go.
Get out of
just
town.
get out. Just leave. And she's like, well, where do you want me
He
to
even
go?
takes a second to explain. He's like, there are some people after me. They might use you to get to me. I need you to be gone because I can't deal with like protecting you and doing what I got to do.
Yeah.
And that's when she's just like, I don't know, Chicago, maybe you should go sing there. He's like, I don't care. Here's money. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess
Bye,
during,
Felicia.
during the hype man scene, the hamburger pimp guy has been like hanging out on the couch, and he's like, I want a chance to get it.
Yeah. Just give me a shot.
Give me a shot to get T.
I hate this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never really explained why. Probably just because he
T
knows
punked
T
his
is
ass,
so much
disrespected
cooler
him.
than him.
Yeah. He's just
Probably
jealous of
It's
his
the same
coolness.
reason the captain doesn't like him because like there's really no apparent reason, like no apparent criminal activity other than he's
just
like
too awesome.
he's too awesome. Yeah. The captain's like
I'm
he's
jealous
too
of your
awesome.
awesomeness.
I'm a bad man too.
I do terrible things too.
I'm Chicken Hawk.
I'm bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so while he's at the girlfriend's house, he gets a call from Jimmy. And in a scene previously, Jimmy was walking out with a suitcase, and there's just dudes there like, time to fuck you up.
Including Hamburger Pimp.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, man. And like he tries to swing his suitcase, but no. And they beat the hell out of him.
Well, we didn't know the entire time until the scene after. Like, there's a scene. Like, luckily he's okay,
Yes.
but he's calling from the hospital,
Right.
and like he says something like they bent my 10 leg, and we're like, oh man, he had a fake leg. We had no idea.
He was
He'd been
and also
limping the
he'd been
entire
limping,
movie.
but yeah,
Well,
apparently he had,
but, like,
he had a metal
that's
leg.
a dick move. Like,
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. Fuck you guys.
Oh, yeah.
but luckily he's okay.
And,
I mean, the thing is
and
he's
T's like, can you walk? And Jimmy's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I can walk.
yeah.
And
Duh.
it's so straight. The scene is so odd because as he's trying to tell T everything that happened, this nurse just barges in and is trying to put his bloody shirt back on him because he's going to catch a cold.
Yeah.
He's going to
It's-
catch pneumonia.
Yeah, and that happens, and then he's just like, whatever, anyway, T. So-
But essentially, he's going to go get the special lady friend, and like, so they're done. They're out of the movie. They're safe.
yes.
I mean, he's gotten beat up, but he's okay.
Yeah, he's like, drive to San Francisco, catch a plane from there. I don't care where you go.
Yeah. He's like, I do need you to do something for me.
Yeah.
I need you to call the lockup and the evidence room and ask for this guy.
Oh, he tells that to his special lady friend.
yeah.
yeah.
And keep talking. Keep
Yeah.
him talking.
This
for-
guy
do
likes
it
to
in, like-
talk, but ask a question that'll keep him
Yeah.
talking.
He's like,
Right.
wait 15 minutes after I leave, then
Keep him on the phone
Keep this guy on the
for at
phone
least
for
5.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be hard. He likes to talk.
Yeah.
Bah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he goes to the police file room. He's like, hey, man, it's like, I needed this file on
Vladimir Wisnitsky.
Yeah. And he's like, what? That's not a real name. And then he goes over, he's like, I'll be damned. It is a real name. Look at this guy. And the phone rings. And so he goes to answer it.
Yeah.
And she's pretending to be a student reporter asking questions about jobs in the police department industry or whatever.
He's like, oh, well, you see.
let me tell you about filing.
You need a key to get here, and then there's a second door. It also needs a key. And,
And
Yeah.
so T is using the distraction to go into the evidence room to just steal guns.
Well, his gun.
Yes.
Yeah. His gun and that backup 32 or
Right.
38.
Yeah. So goes in there, gets those guns, comes back out. Guy's still on the phone, paying no fucking attention whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's just like, got what I needed. See ya. He's like, okay, T, bye. So
I love that they love him. Like all the cops except the chief are
Yeah.
like, yeah, this guy's awesome.
yeah, T's cool. He's down here all the time.
Yep.
He
But-
solves problems. He doesn't cause any real trouble.
He's a private detective.
Yeah.
I'm guessing part of
He's a private
of
dick who's a
this-
sex machine to all the chicks.
I'm guessing. I don't know if it had to do anything to do with. I guess going to the evidence lockup was just to get his gun.
Yes.
because
Yes.
he goes
That's
to. I don't. It's never really explained, but I guess Chalky's hideout is like upstairs of this. I'm not really sure, but because like he enters into this badass movie theater,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this just like palatial, like old school theater style thing with like
Yep.
curtains and just murals on the wall.
Gorgeous.
And, like I don't know, it's just-
Rococo.
yeah, it's just it's badass. But he enters through there, somehow ends up like in the back, like behind the scenes, and basically like there's a security guard like watching Western movies like way too loud, and so he moves some stuff and finds a dumbwaiter, and doesn't like take the actual dumbwaiter. I mean, I don't know if he's sitting on top of it or what, but he basically like dumbwaiters himself up this shaft thing. Shut your mouth. But like gets out and like somehow I don't know if like that's what I'm saying. I don't know if their secret lair office was above this movie theater.
It
Part
was.
of it, movie
It
theater.
must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he just finds himself in this office, and I don't know. Like,
Oh, he knew where that office was.
sure,
Yeah.
but he gets this whole plan. Like he's in this room where there's a bunch of filing cabinets, and he grabs a couple like heavy volume book things that were sitting on top of there, throws them on top of the metal filing cabinets, and then hides behind the door. So two guys come busting in, like, what was that? And
and he beats the crap out of them.
Yeah, right. He just
and then just tosses them in a closet.
Yes, yeah, he beats the hell out of them.
At the same time, Chalky has come back with the hamburger pimp and all his other buddies. What?
Just keep continually calling him the hamburger pimp.
His outfit looked like a hamburger.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they head up to their office,
right? And like he's now in like their office, like
the main office,
looking around like for this like it looks like he's looking for a place to hide.
He's like what's the coolest place I can jump out of to murder these motherfuckers?
And then he gets up because he hears them coming, and he just goes for like an armoire.
He just stands behind something.
He doesn't even really get in it. Like there's some sort of big.
He's
cabinet
basically
there.
just hiding behind the door.
Yeah, right.
And Chalky walks in, and he's just like, "Ha ha!"
Yeah,
yeah.
And Chalky's like, "Fuck, man, look!"
Yeah, and he's just like, "Oh, it's so close to getting away." All right, man.
Well, he's like, "It was all Pete's idea."
Yeah,
and he's like, "Yeah, but who told Pete doesn't know me from nobody?"
I've never seen him before.
Who told him?
He was like, "Okay, I told Pete that you would be good for this thing, but he did it sort of. I don't know."
The best part is he goes, "All right, I want my $10,000 for figuring this out, and I want $500 for the suit I ruined getting in here."
Oh yeah, because the dumbwaiter was like all cobwebby.
Yes. And Paul Winfield's like,
he's like, here, it's $30,000.
Like, I don't want that.
He's like, I want my $10,000 and my $500 that you owe me, and I want
the rest
it
of it
now.
back.
And he's kind of getting this sort of look on his face, like, oh, okay, maybe if we just I'm going to pay you this amount, and then we'll be square. Yep. It's cool. Sorry, man. I really apologize for setting you up for murder and all of these things.
Yeah.
So
my bad.
Yeah. I apologize.
Yeah, but sadly,
does he even shoot him? Because doesn't he just like let his own people shoot him?
What happens is the hamburger pimp comes in,
right?
Yeah,
and is like, "Whoa, what?"
Yeah, blam, blam, blam.
Yeah.
So Chalky gets hit immediately.
Yeah, Chalky gets thrown in the line of fire,
and T hides behind some office furniture and then just
kills him. Kills
70s office furniture, very durable. Bullet.
Yes, absolutely. You can't get a bullet through that.
But yeah. Guys keep coming in. He just keeps mowing them down.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like, well, all right.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the phone is ringing.
Yes, the phone is ringing.
The phone is ringing through all of this.
And since there's no one left to answer the phone.
He picks up the phone and he goes, "This is Pete. I need to talk to Chalky."
Yeah.
And he just goes, "This is T. Chalky's dead. And I'm coming to get your honky ass." Click.
Yes.
And I believe that was when BJ started clapping, if I'm not mistaken.
One of several times.
Yeah, there was a lot of clapping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so he heads over there, and this is a good 2 or 3 minutes of him sort of slinking around an office park, kind of like a business area, and just the music is increasingly funky.
Yeah, it's good.
It's badass. Like if I'm ever sneaking around somewhere, I want that music playing. And they're doing the goofy Hollywood trick of, stuntman jumps from ridiculous high place down behind something, and then the actor pops up like, it was me all along. So they do that once or twice. It's really cool. Like, all of this is just really like... And he keeps stopping because he sees, like, a guard. He's like, okay, there's a guard there. I can't go that way. And he sneaks around back a little bit. And it's like, okay, there's only one guard here. All right, I could do this. But it's really great, like, tension building, like, oh, he's going to murder all these guys. This is going to be so good.
It's a lot like Slaughter's Big Hit when he's, like, sneaking into that whole complex.
Yeah.
But the scenery's cooler. Like, they've just chosen a lot of nicely composed shots of, like, weird stairwells at night that are throwing really long shadows and stuff.
Yep.
But he eventually gets into the parking garage beneath.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who's, like, just, getting in his car, and
it's like, hey.
Yeah, he
hands up, don't turn around.
Yeah, basically hijacks him, gets his keys, locks him in the trunk.
That guy died.
Yeah, that guy was. Yeah, that guy never got out.
No,
no, there was like 80 cops show up at the end of this movie. I think they probably searched the garage.
They probably lit that.
And he's probably just
something's in that trunk. Blah blah.
Noise.
We got him. Oh, it's that guy. Sorry.
But he gets in and he sees that there's only one elevator that's going up. So he gets lockpicks his way into the fuse box and turns them all on.
Brings them all down to where he is.
Yep. and then they all start dinging open, ding, ding, and then
he hides it like there's a bank of like 6 or 8 of them.
6, yeah.
Yeah, and he hides like at the very back, like right one.
Yeah.
So that these guys come around the corner from all the elevators dinging. They're like, what? And obviously somebody's messing with us. But it's just that nice like horror movie style, like from creep from stall to stall. Where's the killer kind of thing? And like he's doing the like shotgun around the corner of each elevator, and then like he goes for the one on the left. And like the other guy's like, well, maybe he's not even by the elevators at all. He's like turned around, and so like he's going for the one on the left. He was in the one on the right, and like he does this weird like swing from a bar on the top of the elevator. Like swing kicks him into the elevator that he was just checking out.
Yeah.
Yep. And hits the button.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yep.
It's such a good shot.
Yeah, and they have an elevator fight.
Yeah.
And he eventually...
And all the while, the guy that missed the elevators is like, oh, damn it, and grabs somebody else, and they're like,
come on.
Yep.
We gotta go.
Gotta take the stairs.
He beats the crap out of that guy in the elevator.
And then, when he gets to the penthouse floor, the door opens, there's a guard there. It's like, huh?
Well, guard hears the elevator coming up.
Right.
And stands there.
Yeah, and he's like, wait, what?
I thought all of the elevators were shut down.
He just uses the guy he beat the fuck out of in the elevator to punch that guy out of the way. And then he does this, like, quick, like, run to the corner of the room, spin around, and then just shoots that guy.
Yeah.
It's a weird technique, because, if
it's a technique that would have gotten him killed.
Yes.
However, it looks cool.
Yeah, it works for him.
Because he almost gets to do, like, the James Bond turn around, shoot at him type thing.
Yep. And then he finds, like, the other, like, white dude who was, like, their lackey, like, the second in command to Pete and Chalky. And he's like, he basically, like, where's Pete? It's like, Pete's not here. Shut up. Come on, let's go. And he's like, takes him to a locked door. He's like Pete's in there, isn't he? He's like, no. It's like, open this door.
Yeah. And all the while, he's, like, pushing this guy ahead so that when he comes out, somebody shoots at him. The guy's like, damn it.
Yes. And finally, they get to where Pete is, which is just,
But after shooting one guy at the top of one of those circular...
Oh, yeah. Little stairwells.
Spiral staircase.
Yeah.
And
he goes rolling all the way down.
that guy hits everyone, like, hard.
His life spiraled out of control.
Yeah. It did, and then ended.
It was a downward spiral.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, eventually he gets up to the top.
It's Pete's swanky, dumb, roundish bed, penthouse.
Mirror room, nastiness. I love that Frank, the guy he's been lugging around, he gets him to the door, and T is like, all right,
tell him you're here.
Get in there, tell him you're here.
Oh, he's like, is Pete in there?
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Yeah.
Open the door. It's locked. Unlock it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And
hey, Pete, it's me, Frank.
He says, hey, Pete, it's me, Frank, as bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
T's like, hey, you just shot Frank.
You just killed Frank.
But I'm fine.
I wasn't dumb enough to stand right behind Frank.
Yeah. So T's basically standing in front of a wall. There's the open door on one side and a glass door on the other. And Pete is just yelling at him like, you can't get in and I can't come out, so it's a stalemate. What are we going to do? And he's just flopping around grabbing guns and stuff. And
he's also got his lights, like he's got the funky 70s like
directional
spotlight,
lights,
directional lights, and he's got them all aimed at the door.
Yes. So T basically hits the glass door with his shotgun and
shatters that,
jumps into the room and sidekicks the lights, like just immediately just fucking karate kicks the lights, and Pete's just like, what? And is shooting at the door, and then T just basically fucking murders him. Just lights him up.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all the cops are showing up downstairs.
Yep.
And I'm still not clear on how he gets out.
He changes his suit.
Well, he
Okay, so
he parked away from the place intentionally, and that's when he does that like weird jump, like a little too far, I think, and like pops up, and it's the actual actor.
Well, so what I assume is he goes down the stairs to the basement because all the cops are coming in the front.
Yeah.
And so he goes down the stairs to the basement, runs out from where he came, and goes to his car, changes clothes because now his clothes are dirty, and he has to change clothes 3 times a day or he dies.
Yes.
Or loses his cool powers or something.
So he just changes into his cool suit.
Yeah. Relatively cool suit.
And then goes back to the police evidence room.
Yep.
And even though, like, 2 hours earlier, the dude who runs this room was like, there's no one here to help. There's no clerk here to help me. Now there's a lady clerk there working. And he's like,
Where did she come from? She came from upstairs.
Yeah.
She's only here temporarily.
and he's like, wait a couple minutes, and then ask him a question and distract him. And she's like, what? And he's like, do it. She's like, okay.
She says, well, why should I do that?
Yeah.
He says, well, it's because I asked nicely, baby.
Yeah.
And so
And she's like, point taken.
so they have a bit of interaction, and
Well, he's basically like, well, she's like, well, how do I fill out these forms? And he's like, oh, well, you gotta.
oh, the forms.
That's a
I'm your
form
guy.
thing,
Let me
yeah.
tell you.
I like forms, and there's the triplicate copies, and
Yeah.
fifth copy goes up to the TPS reports. And,
He breaks back into the evidence room, puts his guns back, and then comes out.
and
And
he's still the guy, the desk sergeant or whatever for the evidence room is like still talking to the lady about how to do forms. He's like, hey, baby, what time you get off? And she's like, what time is it now?
about that time,
It's about that time. He puts his arms around her and starts walking her out.
Yep.
And like just as the doors open for the evidence room, the chief is like coming through the doors. He's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I was just investigating whatever.
Vladimir Wisniewski.
Yeah.
he's like, well, hang on. A bunch of people just got killed. You got a second? And he's like, nope.
No,
Literally says,
yeah,
nope.
he says, do you know anything about it?
Yeah.
He goes,
Nope.
Nope.
I was here
Oh, he says,
investigating.
you got a minute? And he's
Yeah.
nope.
Nope. And then it's like, well, yeah, but these guys died, and you were just, you were kind of involved in everything. It was like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. See ya.
And you hear somebody say something about along the lines of, oh, it looks like, Chalky and Pete had a disagreement, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And
And then he's, getting in the car with his new lady friend.
Yep.
And, it's just like,
yeah, freeze frame, like they're like parked on the side and like make all the traffic stop as they do like a giant U-turn in the middle of and it freeze frames like this guy is awesome. He can
Well, of
U-turn
course they're
wherever
going to
he wants.
stop for Mr. T.
yeah, sure. You have to. He
I
will.
pity
not.
the fool that doesn't.
Nope.
Movie's over.
And with that, it ends.
It
Yep.
freeze frames on him blocking traffic, and then when the credits end, it unfreeze frames, then they drive off.
Sure.
Which is weird, but
Because
whatever.
Mr. T knows that it would be rude to block traffic for the end of the movie.
That is true.
Forever.
Yes. The end of Trouble Man.
Yep. So,
Stargrove, I don't remember the lyrics well enough for Stargrove.
I mean, it's a funky ass soundtrack, but
It's a great soundtrack.
It talks about Mr. T, right?
Not really.
I don't remember the
I thought it was just saying Trouble Man.
Yeah, it's not really Star. I would say no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good soundtrack, but by our very definition of Stargroviness, no,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm afraid not.
Yeah,
But you should listen to it
absolutely.
and see the movie.
It explains a lot.
And while Paul Winfield gets close to Insing, I don't think he really goes to a full on Ensign. He never freaks out that much. I think because he's still rationalizing and playing hype man, he never goes to a full on Ensign like someone, in some movies someone would slap him and you go like, oh, I'm sorry, I was being irrational.
Right.
I don't think he goes to full Ensign
No,
mode.
it's a delicate balance between the two that he's walking there, but he never fully commits either way of game over man or anything like that. But
All right.
strong cases for all those things.
Okay. Well, regular ratings. Go.
I'm ready.
BJ
ready.
first, go.
Yep.
5 jocks. Absolutely. All day. This movie is awesome.
BJ loved this movie.
I really did. Like, the worst thing about this movie was one sort of not particularly well done cut when he does one of those crazy jumps.
Yeah. I always think of this as the Naked Gun cut.
Yeah.
Because they do it so obviously in the first one when he's flipping around the apartment. And,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
That was the worst thing, is it was just a sloppy cut.
sure.
Everything else about this movie was fucking incredible.
Which, before anyone points out, it is edited by Michael Kahn, Steven Spielberg's longtime Academy Award-winning editor, I believe. I'm just saying, but he had to start
Gotta
somewhere.
start somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
He did this in, I think, Truck Turner and stuff, too.
Man,
so.
everybody makes a mistake once in a
I
while,
know,
but like
This was not a mistake.
this movie,
I didn't even
Is-
notice it, so
is much-
it's not that big a mistake.
I just happened to be looking at a part of the screen
Sure.
where it looked funky. This movie doesn't waste your time. It doesn't set up anything that doesn't pay off. We don't get as grisly a death as we probably should for that cracker ass honky, but Mr. T is just so smooth and clean about everything. He just gets the job done. There's nothing that's really left untended to in this movie. It's such a clean movie, and the dialogue is so spot on and crisp. There's no wasted space. This moves from beginning to end. It's just fucking amazing. Five Jocks. Thank God I've seen this movie.
Wow.
I feel like everyone else unwilling to go next.
Sorry, everybody's used to not having to rate anything after I've said
Sure.
something.
That is a little awkward. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to give it 5 Jocks.
Yeah. High five.
And the reason for that is Mr. T is one of the coolest guys we've seen in a movie like this because he is so confident in everything he is saying and doing. And also, I felt like the dialogue in this is not some kind of generic plug-in blaxploitation dialogue. It is all
Absolutely
very
not.
unique to this movie.
And it's natural. It doesn't feel like,
It's not like say this cool thing.
right.
It's
It doesn't
like,
feel like, oh man, I'm going to write this thing that in jive.
No,
and
this
people
is
are gonna
like
love it.
I'm suitably angry. I'm going to say this line to you because I'm the coolest motherfucker on the planet, and here's what I'm going to say to you.
It's like the real coolest motherfuckers.
Yeah,
on the
it's not
planet.
overwritten.
Not movie coolest
Yes,
motherfucker on
exactly.
the planet.
It's weird because like there is some jive talking in this, but like it's like Hammer was like almost like an extreme case. I still think it was well written. Like there was lots of slang,
Yes.
and stuff in Hammer, and there's some in this, but it's like it still feels natural. Like
Right.
it doesn't feel quite like, man, what did
Yeah.
they just say? Like too many metaphors and stuff on top of each other,
Right. And what I really liked about this was that it's, even though we haven't seen even like a tenth of this kind of movie, a lot of them feel like you can probably predict exactly where they're going in the first few minutes of some kind of like get the drugs out of the neighborhood or save the rec center, that kind of thing. And there's nothing wrong with that, but this is just a dude who's kind of walking a line between lawful and not, but he's basically helping the community and making some money. He's not a full-fledged criminal like these other motherfuckers who were messing with him. And it's just guys who come up with a dumb idea and it goes badly for them and he takes care of it. I think that's it's such a small, unique premise, and it works so well. It's not there's no fluff in this. There's not a bunch of just bullshit of he doesn't like make a big deal out of the kid falling out of on the apartment building, that kind of thing. That's just a little piece of flavor in this. It's not like this Mr. T takes on the landlords. It's It's got a very specific personal plot to this guy, and this guy's not having it.
It shows you the kind of man that T is.
Yeah.
Not like, and he's not like a superhero or anything. He's just, man.
He just takes care of
cool.
business.
And it's not like the cocky. Like, this is such a good character. I love this. Like, he's almost like the neutral good or chaotic good. Almost like he's one of those people that's really hard to categorize in that D&D character sort of thing. Almost like true neutral, where as long as things are going T's way and you're doing kind of right by people, then that's fine. But you step out of line and something might happen to you.
Yeah. I thought it was refreshing. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I can go.
You can.
I'm going to continue the train. 5 Jocks. Woo woo. Now I will. Small little thing, like his little move out of the elevator, pretty badass.
Yeah.
But I will say this movie is missing what typically our 5 Jocks movies have in that like, oh my god moment. There is never that. But like all of the moments combined are so strong, and the character is so strong, and everything is so good about this movie in writing and filming and everything else that it doesn't need that. Because it never has that lull. The only part that it could be a lull is when he kind of goes on that initial, like, let's find out about that dude that got killed. Because like that's a little weird. Like when he goes and sees his boxer friend, it's like that stuff could be trimmed or almost like more of a montage. Because like we have to meet the lady that he full on mouth kisses. I'm guessing the implication was she was some sort of a madam. Like because he was like, who are the girls that this guy's been hanging out with?
She was the older lady who, when he was younger, taught him the ways of love.
Or that. Perhaps? Did you just
She made a
suppose
reference to the,
Yeah,
maybe some
something.
history.
It's been 20 years, and give me some more sugar.
Right. Anyway,
but I think that just shows, again, establishing sort of his connections.
It's more
with the
world building
community
of this guy, and that he has a history, and everybody knows him. But I'm just saying, some of that could have been a little more montaged and cut out. It's not much of a lull at all. This whole thing is like 3 minutes long, so it's not that big a deal. I'm saying this movie's pretty solid, all from beginning to end. So 5 jocks.
Yep. It's only 4 things, that's for sure: taxes, death, trouble, and unanimous 5 jocks. Yeah, this movie. This movie's great. It really. It's like the best of 70s like detective shows, but with a dude that's way cooler than that, and swearing, and dudes getting shot with the bloody tempera paint, and all just it's what you want in a blaxploitation movie when you want like a real movie. When you're not like, I want Dolomite where I can see the camera thing dipping in and the actors suck, and it's like it's none of that stuff. And I love that it's like he's almost the exact opposite of Truck Turner, where Truck Turner was awesome, but he was like wearing a suit that a cat pissed on, and just
right. He was a slob, and he
didn't know what he was. And shit was just going wrong for him all the time. And this guy's like almost like a black James Bond. He's always on top of everything and 10 steps ahead of everyone else. And that goes such a long way, because like the fights in this aren't particularly good.
They're all quick though.
Yeah, the action is like real short bursts of action, which is probably way more realistic than a lot of stuff we watch would be considered.
Yeah,
but
I think the longest shootout was like 15 seconds, and the longest fight sequence was probably 10.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably that elevator fight was the longest.
It's all very brief, but like BJ said, it all wraps up and it all pays off. Like everything that gets mentioned, and like those 2 dudes that got taken away, they mention when Chalky's meeting with Pete, he's like, when he's explaining how the cops are going to come after him, and all of his guys are gone, so anybody who would have seen what happened at the pool hall, they're taken care of anyway.
Yeah.
Or I believe they said nobody's going to see them again.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And I meant to mention this earlier, but the guys who said, let's take the stairs, as soon as Mr. T is leaving the penthouse, or the penthouse suite, he's like getting into the elevator. Those guys come from the stairwell, and they look around and like, what the fuck happened?
Oh, shit.
So they even
dead.
paid those guys off.
Yeah.
Like,
the loose ends don't exist in this movie. They account for pretty much everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Also, they don't do the mistake of making him completely invincible. He gets a couple shots taken on him, which
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't faze him much, but I mean, I never like to see the hero like never ever get a shot taken on him. Like a punch, and not a big man shot.
Well, I mean, they even have Paul Winfield say at one point, his advantage is he's so cool.
Yeah,
which is a callback earlier in the movie of like how good Texas Blood was, but he had no cool.
Yes.
Yep.
That was, and he was like, "That's why he's going to lose."
I think they even said like the kid's better.
He's like,
but he's got no cool.
He's got no cool.
That's what Mr. T's edge is. He's always cool.
Yep.
And you're goddamn right. For 90 minutes or however long this movie is, he is the goddamn coolest motherfucker you have ever seen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ever.
All right.
It's fucking brilliant.
We really need to take a break.
Yeah.
It's been a long half.
You have to pee.
Yeah. How's it 11:15 already?
Because this movie's fucking awesome, and we had to talk about it.
We have an hour and 45 minutes on the timer right now.
Because time passes.
We started at 10. We chatted it up for a while.
I know.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
It's a little late.
Break. Let's
time.
Let's go to a break.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I was just trying to get it back to where I could cut it.
99 minutes. So a little bit longer than our normal movie.
That extra 10 minutes made all the difference. So he's got Deadpool. Anybody got anything else?
Yes.
Nope.
How many? 1? Okay.
Ties into Deadpool.
All right.
Wolverine.
No. It's a Ryan Reynolds motion picture.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Hey, somebody wants me to add me to their LinkedIn network.
Cool. I bet you'll get a good job.
Yeah. I bet I will. LinkedIn, where everybody gets their jobs.
Yes.
It's always people I know, but I'm friends with, but I've never worked with. Like LinkedIn has no purpose anymore. It's sad.
It's just another social network.
Yeah.
People think they got to rank up, add a bunch of friends. Be my friend on LinkedIn. Nah.
I'm all right.
I'm really never going to come to this thing.
Yeah.
If I get fired or, decide to change careers, I'll update it.
Well, yeah, and that was the thing, too. For a while, it was like broadcasting when anybody updated it. So
Yeah.
So you find out, this person is looking for a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad that never happened to me.
But yeah, my thing's less than 3 minutes to talk about.
Yeah, we might have to skip emails and stuff.
Okay.
We got some voicemails. We might do like one or two. Let's see which ones we got here.
I was late in
Hopper.
arriving, so we started late.
Yeah, we were just behind on all counts for some reason. Yeah, I can't. Damn.
But I mean, there weren't and this is not necessarily a bad thing, but there aren't sex scenes in the movie.
No.
And blaxploitation sex scenes usually have a tendency to go on really long.
Yeah.
And are kind of get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And this didn't need it. You knew he was just having an awesome time with all these ladies. He just didn't need that. But every once in a while, you just get one of those blaxploitation movies where it's just like, all right, now we press these two people together for 10 minutes and you will watch. And it's like, you get like Isaac Hayes with his shirt off. You're like, oh, well, why?
And like the Rudy Ray Moore ones, it almost feels like The Room, where it was like, I can get this naked woman against me, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Check out my ass.
Duh.
Him and Tommy Wiseau. Kings of the Check Out My Ass.
Yeah.
School of Filmmaking.
Shut the cat door.
Cat door.
Cat door.
Cat door.
My little fan. It's gotten a little bit warm there.
We have 11 little fans in the chat.
How do you know they're little?
They have to be to squeeze into that little box.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the voicemail from Jay from California? We'll just do that one this week.
Okay.
Since we're running late. That's the one from 916 area code.
Let me do the Lucha Underground guy?
Now we can do that one real
Just
quick
kidding.
if you want.
No, it's all right.
Lucha Underground guy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's called about Lucha. I don't know. I wouldn't have listened to it, Mac. He was like, you'll like the newest voicemail, so of course I had to listen to it.
Yeah. It's brief. But
It's really brief.
yeah. But
916.
Jay's will
Yeah.
tie into your discussion, so may as well play that one.
Should we play it before I talk about a movie?
Sure.
Okay.
We can do that.
So you talk about your movie, play the voicemail, then I'll talk about my movie.
Okay.
Talk about your movie.
Talk about movie. I wish this had the original poster art on it.
I don't know. That's pretty badass, though.
No, it is, but
What
I mean,
was
like
the original poster art?
the art is like
That
him
was
in the mirror.
hanging up on the live stream.
Oh, the one with the
Yeah.
the 5
Yeah,
slices. Yeah,
which is
that's pretty-
basically like him shooting up that room.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp looking.
Fuck that guy,
Yeah.
Pete.
Fuck you, Walton.
Mr. Walton.
That one.
Yeah.
One cat who plays like an army. His friends call him Mr. T. His enemies call for mercy.
That's pretty fucking good.
That's two taglines on the same poster. I
That's
just want you to know.
yeah, working overtime there in the marketing department for that one.
We need to change the intro. Our friends call us BMF. Our enemies call for mercy. 1 star. We're trouble.
Man.
All right.
God damn it.
Trouble.
This is automatically play shit now. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Why is that? God damn it. PCs, man.
Yeah,
Fucking shit.
Yeah, what a bunch of junk.
they'll never catch on.
Yeah. I agree. All right, let's make a second half here. All right, and welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast.
See,
Waluigi is here.
did I? Yeah, I just like, wow, welcome back.
Number
BJ
one.
did it.
Hey, we're going to talk about some more movies and stuff.
Cool.
Let's.
So I think I'm the only person at the table that went and saw the new hotness that everybody else in the country saw in Deadpool.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry.
All right.
I tried. Didn't work out.
So let me paint a little picture about Deadpool. I am a comics nerd. I think
Are you?
That's safe to say.
Huh.
Weird.
But Deadpool was like, I mean, I have pretty good social awareness of Deadpool. I think I've read some Deadpool, but like Deadpool's not a guy that I know a ton about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assuage the fears that maybe you're not ready for Deadpool, or you're like, why would I watch Deadpool? I don't know anything about him. You can just go watch Deadpool. Like you need no prior knowledge. Just
Chimichangas, I guess.
Chimichangas, jokey, breaking the fourth wall. Awareness that Deadpool is. I mean, Deadpool has self-awareness that he's a comic book character, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And
So, it's basically like Ant-Man. You don't need Ant-Man knowledge to
Right.
go see Ant-Man.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Really, like
Well,
most
it's
of the Marvel movies
not
lately,
like
you don't really need that
Ant-Man.
much knowledge to go see them.
No, but there is sort of like an interlinking kind of like with
There
the
are
Prime
things.
things.
Yeah.
I've read 0 comic books, like, ever. And
But there are things in them that are meant for fans to understand
Yes.
the
Yeah.
linking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And sure,
I'm sure
there's
that
some
stuff is
here
in
and-
Deadpool as
Sure,
well.
why not?
there's a dish soap, apparently.
I am attempting not to have any kind of hyperbole, but I would say that Deadpool may possibly be cracking into my top 5 superhero movies of all time.
Really?
Yeah,
That's pretty high praise.
it's really high praise, especially when I start listing them out.
Well-
And there's a lot of good superhero movies out there now at this point. I know people are feeling a little sick of superhero movies, and I think that's like the best thing about Deadpool coming along when it did. I feel like it's hit at just the right time because people are in that like, another Marvel movie. When like there hasn't really been a bad one. There's been mediocre ones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there have been bad ones if you count like Fan Four Stick and Elektra and things like that. I mean, there are, but like
And the 1978 Doctor Strange.
well, yeah.
That was
Okay,
bad.
there are technically bad ones, but I mean,
Yeah.
in the Marvel Universe Prime, if you will,
Yeah, yeah.
my Marvel Cinematic
the
Universe,
current universe.
there really hasn't been bad ones. Like Thor 2 is just very mediocre. I wouldn't say it's bad.
Forgettable.
It's super forgettable.
Yep.
So whatever. I mean, I feel like people, it's like the new hip thing to turn on superhero movies, and so I think like this comes along at like the perfect time where it looks at all of those and it says, I don't really care. You know, we're going to kind of poke fun at them and yet be one of them and play that really good mix of not just simply parody, but like parody with a love. You know, not like mean parody or dumb parody or anything like that. It's like, we're going to be this, but we're also going to kind of make fun of the whole thing too along the way. And it's just fun and refreshing. And I will warn you, super hard rated R. If you weren't aware of that, it's way stupid rated R. Just be aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they're Punisher Warzone, whatever, if you think about that. I mean, it was a rated R movie and there's lots of violence, but like this is more than that. I mean, maybe not the level of violence that one went into, but like swearing
Yeah.
galore and there's all the things you want for a rated R movie are in there. I'm trying to think of like other, I don't really want to be spoilery at all. Other things I'll say about it. I think it's one of my new favorite opening title sequences ever. The opening credit sequence is just sets the tone in a way that very few movies do anymore. Like, there's that website, I'll plug it because I like it, The Art of the Title.
Yep.
And it really celebrates the idea of the credit sequence not just being a way to get people's names on to a film, but like setting the tone for a film. And James Bond movies have always been famous for it and things like that. Sure, we know those. But like this does it in a way that it's just like, if you aren't aware of how Deadpool is going to play out, this credit sequence is like your introductory guide. So, yeah. I don't know. I just said all that. I'm not sure where my coherent thought is going. As far as ranking, I'm not going to bother to try to list it. I'm just saying it's really good. It's making me reconsider top lists of things. Maybe not overall like comic book quote unquote movies, because then you've got what I would call legitimate real films like Road to Perdition, and even Scott Pilgrim could be a quote unquote kind of comic book movie, but it's I'm saying superhero movies, right?
Yeah.
So
I get you.
I don't know. I highly recommend it if you have the wherewithal and the stomach to go through an R-rated violence thing like that, because it gets dark at times, it gets funny, it gets there is some mean there. I mean, it's mean spirited, but like it's funny because like it feels like it's mean spirited with like a touch of love. Like, so if like something like Always Sunny and that mean spiritedness like turns you off, I think like you could still enjoy this, because like they'll say the meanest thing but then smile, and like the other person will smile, and it's just like that's just how they banter, right? So it's like it doesn't feel like that we set up this thing to completely screw somebody over plot line thing. It's just funny mean, if you will. It's lighthearted. So
this is a Fox Marvel movie, right?
it is. So it's not an official Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
They own the mutants,
right?
They have them X-Men, and Deadpool's a mutant. So
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of Marvel references to other Fox Marvels?
Oh, this is definitely in the X-Men universe.
Okay,
without a doubt.
Okay,
Yeah,
And Stan Lee shows up.
and Stan Lee shows up.
well, that's quite a shocker.
Hi, I'm Stan Lee.
I will
Inventor
say
of everything by this point.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's up there of the Stan Lee cameos.
Okay,
Oh, we were talking about Trouble Man. The guy who got shoved in the trunk would have been the Stan Lee.
Yeah,
cameo.
he was
Oh,
the
yeah,
Trouble
he
Man.
would 100% have been the Stan Lee cameo.
It's like, I don't want to go in the trunk.
Creator of the Trouble Man.
Creator of trouble, man. He
Creator-
gets into trouble.
Yeah.
Creator of trouble, Stan Lee.
Yeah.
I wanted to call him Maligned Man because I like alliteration, but they talked me into trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But no, I highly recommend it, and stay through the credits as always. This might be one of the best post-credit stinger things of all time, especially. The thing is, like, I didn't realize Ryan Reynolds is as old as he is. I'm not saying he's like old, but he's older than I thought he was.
Been around a while.
And like, I mean, well, I'm right at same age with him, and like, so
Yeah,
I'm just saying, someone of my age, like, I was like the references and the stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, this is just me. Like, I mean, so if you're in the upper 30s area, there's a window of enjoyment. I'm saying if you're in the upper 30s area, like a lot of this movie is going to really speak to you.
Okay.
Cool.
I like the sound of that.
All right.
We got a voicemail about it, actually.
Oh, okay.
If you want to play it now. We're going to skip emails this week because we're running long, but we figured this one would tie in.
Sorry.
We figured this one would tie in.
Hey guys, this is Jay from California. I got out of Deadpool. Went to the 7 o'clock showing here on a Thursday night, and, your enjoyment of this film depends on how you feel about fight scenes that are choreographed using 80s pop music. I'm talking like, Peter Cetera, that kind of stuff. Because I just appreciate the fuck out of that, and I loved this movie. Holy shit, the last superhero movie I saw was Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was kind of like, man, I'm kind of tired of these movies, but after this one, I'm all in. Like, bring on Captain America, bring on Batman, Superman. Deadpool revitalized me, so, yeah, it's a really good movie.
All right.
Bye.
Jay, you got to sign out. Man.
Yeah. Come on.
We got to know when to jump in.
Deadpool left him speechless.
But I'm glad people. I honestly, I did not expect this to happen with this movie at all.
Not to be as big as it was, no.
I mean, I was like,
I figured it was going to be a complete flop because there were a lot of movies that came out this weekend.
Yeah.
And for it to just destroy all of them shocked the hell out of me.
yeah. I mean, I always want these movies to be good, obviously, but I secretly was like, I don't know about this. I hope, but I don't know.
It was a risk. I mean, it was definitely a risk.
I mean, considering my last, Fox superhero movie was Van Forstic,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to get here, but
Right.
a lot better than that.
Yeah. I'm glad it came together. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds,
Oh, okay.
I watched a Ryan Reynolds movie.
What?
Yeah, he is.
You watch Van Wilder?
No, I've seen Van Wilder though. It's pretty good. I watched 2013's R.I.P.D.
Oh, that.
Really?
Yeah. That is a movie that seems to be something that everyone's dogpiling on. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this movie's so terrible. It's not. It's not so terrible. There are a million worse movies than this. There are some knocks against it, and one of them being like everyone's like, it's just Men in Black. It is Men in Black, but you know what? The original Men in Black is not great, and it certainly doesn't hold up. Like, quote something from Men in Black that's not the Edgar stuff that we say all the time. Just quote something that's not a dumb Will Smith from the trailer dumb thing.
Well, see, now,
Putting me on the spot now.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're like taking out all, like. Yeah.
No, I don't.
All the
quote,
memorable stuff.
quote something from Men in Black that isn't actually in the movie.
Yeah, that isn't one of the memorable
No,
things they use for the
That's
trailer.
not what I meant. I don't think Men in Black was as terrific as it was. When it came out, I was like, that's good, not great. And now seeing it's like, it's really irritating.
Yeah.
So,
Agree to disagree.
okay. I
Men in
don't.
Black 2 is super mediocre.
Yeah, Men in Black 2 sucks.
Yeah, and 3 is fucking terrible.
I don't agree
It
at all.
has good.
I think
moments.
3 is embarrassing. I think 3 is super embarrassing.
Okay.
Anyway, so R.I.P.D. is Men in Black. Fine, whatever. There's room for another one. I don't care. The effects in it are not great. They look kind of B-tier digital studio put these things together, and that kind of hurts the movie a little bit. But Jeff Bridges in this movie is fucking on. Like, everything he does, everything he says is spot on. And you can read a ton of like 1-star reviews where people are saying that. And I don't get that. If the star of your movie is super entertaining and everything he says and does is fantastic, then somewhere in there it's probably an entertaining hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, it's cliched and silly, and you know, it's kind of like graphic novel-y dumb in a lot of ways, but Jeff, it's not like Jeff Bridges is a cameo in this movie. He's the star of the film. He's in the whole damn thing, and he's fantastic. He's having a great time, and that translates to having a good time watching him. So this hate for R.I.P.D., I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's not a fantastic movie, but is
it Chuck Fine?
It's better than that. It's good.
It's better
It is
than
a
Chuck
good
Fine.
movie. You
So
should-
what led to you?
So it's better
watching
than
this?
bad. It's good.
yeah.
All right.
What led to you watching this?
One, it was on my DVR, and I've been trying to clear that off.
Okay.
And 2, I was like, a Ryan Reynolds movie will tie into Deadpool, so it
Okay.
was something to talk about.
Cool.
So that was it, basically. And it was
I
short.
accept the DVR excuse.
And it was short.
Yeah.
It's a short movie, so
Okay.
give it a shot. Have an open mind.
Well, while
Give it
we're
a
mentioning
try.
oft overlooked Ryan Reynolds movies, I don't know if I ever said it before, but I would recommend watching Safe House, the Denzel Washington one.
Oh, right.
That's a pretty good little movie.
Not bad.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's kind of hard to sometimes take Ryan Reynolds seriously
Sure.
in a drama, but that one's all right.
I think Denzel helps sell most. He can sell a mediocre to all right movie better than
Yeah.
some people.
As long as it's not a wacky comedy.
Sure.
Denzel's just not designed for comedies.
No, he's not.
Now, if they did a remake of Trouble Man, Denzel would be Trouble Man. Mr. T.
Denzel was pretty good in The Equalizer,
No.
and he was a cool motherfucker in that.
I don't know if Denzel can keep his cool enough for Trouble Man.
Yeah, he might have to smirk it up a bit. And
Yeah, Denzel's got to crack a smile and
I honestly think he's best when he's like laughing at somebody's whatever
Yeah.
stupidity, not the flat line thing.
yeah.
Now Idris Elba, that's a man that can like
Idris Elba is a
that can
trouble
pull off
man.
like
Yeah.
flat line but you
Stacker Pentecost.
Stacker, yeah,
could keep
exactly.
his fucking, I mean, Stacker Pentecost wouldn't because he's not that kind of
Right.
man. But
You don't touch Trouble Man.
yeah,
yeah.
So, yep. There you go.
Did we suddenly wrap up somehow? Did that happen? Oh,
Yeah, we're going to skip emails this week. We just had we had a few voicemails, a few emails, but we're running long. We started late, so we'll save them for next week.
Yeah.
Where we have our grand finale of Blaxploitation History Month for the year. Until next year.
Yes.
And you've picked a winner, you've said.
Sure.
You seem pretty certain. We actually had to change our pick. The first pick apparently got a bit rapey at points, and
the rape
we
door
were not
went off.
prepared for that.
But let me say, I didn't think this one was going to hit as hard as it did either. So I have a good, solid feeling about the finale for next week. But we just gave this movie unanimous jocks, so can it top it? I don't know.
This movie was damn good.
Yeah. So
Will we invent a new rating next week?
You know what?
Tune in to episode 313 to find out.
Yeah, we watched Truck Turner the week after Slaughter, so
that's true.
we can have back-to-back 5 jocks. It's happened.
Man, that was a good year.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, so you want to give the people some contact information?
So yeah, until episode 313, if you want to get some more BMFcast in you, go to bmfcast.com. There's a bunch of buttons on the right-hand side that'll tell you how to get in contact with us socially. If you want to email us directly, it's bmf@bmfcast.com. Or if you want to give us a call on the Garfield phone and leave us a voicemail, it's 910-5JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. And don't forget, we're running this Patreon thing where you give us money and we give you, some extra content in return. It's patreon.com/BMFcast. And...
bonus podcast.
Bonus content that we are currently in the process of recording for your sweet, sweet money-donating ears. And as always, the main podcast will always remain free for your sweet, sweet ears, whether they be donating or not.
So true. Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Yes, we
Yes.
shall.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. See you next week, motherfuckers.
Doot.
Is it Las Vegas Vampires?
No,
Chuck?
it will so not be Las Vegas Vampires.
I don't know what that is. I'm just asking.
Oh, it's
Wait, he put Las Vegas Vapors.
Oh.
It might
What?
be Las Vegas
Vapires.
Las Vapors.
Las Vegas Vapors. I bet.
That's the XFL team.
Yeah, that. No.
When the XFL
That'll be an
No,
A&E
come on
show.
now. That would be the Portland.
That'll be an A&E
That'd be
show
the Portland.
sooner or later.
Las Vegas Vapors.
Las Vegas Vapors.
No, it'd be the Portland Vapors or something.
That would be the team name, but if they did a TV show, like a shitty reality show, it'd be like, Las Vegas Vapors!
Oh, sure.
Watch the hottest cloud
Yeah.
chasers in Las Vegas blow smoke,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah.
All right.
This week, Rick from Pawn Stars is on Las Vegas Vapors.
Lance Burton in Las Vegas Vapors.
There was the Las Vegas Outlaws was the XFL.
We blow smoke up Kim Kardashian's ass on Las Vegas Vapors.
Well, that'll
Wow.
take the entire episode.
Oh, chuckles. Chuckles.
What?
Wow.
She has a
Charles.
big ass, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Not that there's
is that
anything
what-
wrong with that.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that's what you were saying, but now that I do.
Great ass. We like to call that a healthy ass, Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not putting it down.
She's got
You're not picking it up either.
a big butt and a smile.
Heavy.
All right.
Kanye's crazy.
Yeah.
If I tried to pick up his wife's ass, he might not like that.
Yeah. He might let you finish, but first he's going to tell you something.
He should let me finish.
All right. We're going to shut it down now. Bye-bye.
Hey, we were on a podcast. Now we're not. Bye.
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 Thank you to everyone who's donated so far. We love you.
And we love the rest of you, too.
Yeah, a little.
Like stepchildren.
I will show you guys the poster.